Ada Okoro had been Jae-yoon Park's prisoner for exactly 8 days when she made the fatal mistake of saving his life. Now, as she pressed blood-soaked gauze against the knife wound in his side, watching his eyes flutter with pain and something darker, something that looked dangerously like desire, she realized the truth. Escaping his penthouse prison would be easy compared to escaping what was growing between them. "You should have let me bleed out," he murmured, his hand covering hers. "Would have solved all your problems." "Shut up and let me work," she snapped, but her fingers trembled. Because he was right. His death would have meant her freedom. Instead, she'd chosen to save the man who'd shot her, kidnapped her, and made her a target in a war she didn't understand. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me tell you how a medical student from Seoul ended up stitching together a crime lord while his psychotic half-sister hunted them both. It started 8 days ago, with a shortcut through the wrong alley. Hi besties, welcome to Afro-Soul Stories. This is our first video, so your support means everything. Please hit that subscribe button, like, and drop a comment to tell us where you're watching from. We'd love to know that. 8 days earlier, the gunshot cracked through the rain-soaked alley. Ada watched the man crumple, blood pooling beneath him in the yellow streetlight. 5 men in expensive suits stood over the body. One of them, tall, sharp-featured, impossibly cold, tucked his gun back into his jacket with the casual ease of someone who'd done this 1,000 times. Her medical textbooks hit the ground. 5 pairs of eyes snapped toward her. "Shit." Ada breathed, then ran. Korean commands erupted behind her. She didn't need translation. The meaning was universal. Stop. Catch her. Kill her. Ada burst onto the main street, diving into late-night crowds. Her lungs burned. Her heart hammered against her ribs. Behind her, designer shoes pounded pavement with military precision. She ducked into a convenience store, pressing against a refrigerator unit. Through the window, 3 men scanned the street. One of them, bleached blonde, designer jacket, spoke into a phone, looking right at her hiding spot. Ada bolted out the back, running until her legs trembled, until she collapsed in a doorway, shaking. Her phone. She needed to call the police. Her pocket was empty. "No, no, no," she whispered. She'd dropped it in the alley, with her student ID inside the case. They would know exactly who she was. Jae-yoon Park stood in his penthouse office 43 floors above Seoul and studied the cracked phone on his desk. "Adana Okoro," Jung said. Second-year medical student at Yonsei. Nigerian father, deceased. Korean mother, works at Seoul National Hospital. No criminal record. No connections to underground elements. "She saw everything," Jung continued. "Clean line of sight. She can identify you specifically, boss." Jae-yoon picked up the phone, studying the ID photo. A young woman with warm brown skin and exhausted eyes. She looked like she belonged in a lecture hall, not witnessing executions. But she had witnessed. And witnesses were liabilities. "Find her," Jae-yoon said quietly. 48 hours. Bring her to me. And then, Jae-yoon looked out at Seoul's glittering skyline. "Then we see if she's worth keeping alive." They found her in the university library. Ada was reaching for an anatomy textbook when a hand clamped over her mouth. She bit down hard, tasting blood, drove her elbow backward. The grip loosened. She ran. But there were more of them. 2 blocked the exit. Another appeared from between the stacks. The bleached blonde pulled out a cloth. "Sorry about this. Boss's orders." The chemical smell was sickly sweet. Ada's vision blurred, her legs giving out. Her last thought was of her mother, who had come home to an empty apartment and no explanation. Then darkness swallowed everything. Ada woke in luxury that felt like a coffin. Floor-to-ceiling windows showed Seoul from a dizzying height. The bed beneath her was obscenely soft. Everything screamed money. Silk wallpaper, crystal chandeliers, art that probably cost more than her tuition. She tried the door. Locked. "No, no, no," she whispered, pulling at the handle. "Trapped. Kidnapped. Probably about to die." The door opened without warning. The man from the alley entered. Up close, he was devastating. Sharp Korean features, perfectly tailored suit, cold eyes that cataloged everything. Power radiated from him like heat. "You're awake," he said in perfect English. "Good. We need to talk." Ada backed against the bed. "Who are you?" "Jae-yoon Park. You witnessed something you shouldn't have." He sat in a leather armchair with casual elegance. "Something that makes you a liability." "I won't tell anyone. I didn't see anything." "Don't insult us both with lies." His voice was ice. "You saw me execute a traitor. You can identify my face, my men, the location. You're intelligent enough to piece together what that means. Then why haven't you killed me?" "I'm still deciding if that's necessary." The casual way he discussed her murder sent ice through her veins. "This is kidnapping. People will notice I'm missing. Your mother thinks you're on a study retreat. The university has been notified of your emergency leave. Your roommate is in Busan." He leaned back, crossing one leg over the other. "No one is looking for you, Miss Okoro. I'm very thorough." Ada sank onto the bed, reality crushing down. "What do you want from me?"
Time.
"To determine if you're genuinely a threat."
He stood.
"Until then, you'll remain here as my guest." "Guest? I'm a prisoner." "Guest sounds more civilized." He moved toward the door. "Don't try anything foolish. This floor is secure. Seoul is 43 floors down. The fall would kill you long before impact. Why not just kill me now?" Jae-yoon paused, and something flickered in his eyes. Almost like regret. "Because I don't kill innocent people without cause. Prove you're not a threat, and you might survive. And if I can't prove that?" His smile was cold. "Then you'll disappear, and your mother will spend the rest of her life wondering what happened to her daughter." After he left, Ada finally let herself cry. 3 days passed in suffocating routine. Silent staff brought restaurant-quality meals Ada couldn't taste. The bathroom was stocked with designer everything. The closet contained clothing in her exact size. It was disturbing how thoroughly they'd prepared. Ada discovered cameras in the corners. They were always watching. She started talking to them out of spite. "Enjoying the show?" she'd ask while brushing her teeth. "Is this entertaining? Watching a med student lose her mind?" No one answered, but it made her feel less powerless. Jae-yoon appeared unpredictably, sometimes during meals, sitting across from her in uncomfortable silence. Sometimes late at night, his footsteps pacing outside her door like a caged animal. On the third day, he entered while she was sketching. "You have talent," he observed. "Don't pretend you care." Ada didn't look up. "You're keeping me prisoner. We're not friends." "No, we're not." He took the armchair. "But we are in a complicated situation together." "There's nothing complicated about kidnapping. You're a criminal. I'm your victim. It's simple. If it were simple, you'd already be dead." His bluntness made her flinch. "I've had 3 days to eliminate you. Yet you're here, fed, clothed, comfortable. Why do you think that is?" "Because you're playing with me. Because I don't make hasty decisions." He leaned forward. "Tell me about your father." Rage flooded through her. "Don't you dare. Don't talk about my father." "I understand loss," Jae-yoon said quietly. "My father died when I was 17. Left me an empire I never wanted. So yes, Miss Okoro, I do understand. Your father left you crime. Mine left me with medical bills and debt. We're nothing alike. Aren't we?" He moved to the window. "We both lost parents too young. We both carry legacies we didn't choose. We both know what it's like to have every choice made for us by circumstances. The difference is that I didn't become a murderer."
His jaw tightened.
"You saw me execute a traitor who sold weapons that killed 3 of my men and a civilian caught in crossfire. Don't pretend you understand my world based on one snapshot." They stared at each other, tension crackling like a live wire. "This doesn't change anything," Ada said. "You're still keeping me prisoner. For your own protection as much as mine." He moved toward the door. "My half-sister, Hygiene, runs a rival faction. If she learns you exist, she'll use you to destroy me. And trust me, what I did to that traitor would look merciful compared to what Hygiene does to her enemies. Then let me go. I'll leave Seoul." There is nowhere she won't look. His hand was on the door. You're safer here in my golden cage than anywhere else in the city. After he left, Ada sat in his chair. It was still warm from his body heat. She hated that she'd noticed. The fourth day brought a new horror. Her fear was fading. Not completely, but the constant terror was dulling into something manageable.
Stockholm syndrome.
She recognized the symptoms from her psychology elective. It terrified her more than the kidnapping itself. On the fifth day, Jung brought breakfast. "You're Dana Okoro," he said in careful English. "Top 5% of your class. Your professors say you're brilliant. Does my GPA earn me freedom?" Jung smiled sadly. "For what it's worth, I think this situation is wrong. Then help me escape." "I can't. Boss's orders are absolute." He paused at the door. "But I can tell you, he's trying to find a solution. He doesn't want to kill you. He just doesn't know what else to do yet." After Jung left, Ada found herself thinking about those words. Jae-yoon was trying to find a solution, as if she were an equation instead of a human being. That night, everything changed. Ada heard voices. Sharp, violent. A woman speaking rapid Korean with cold fury. Then Jae-yoon's voice, equally controlled but dangerous. Footsteps approached her door. The lock disengaged. But instead of Jae-yoon, a woman entered. Late 20s, striking features, expensive clothing. Her eyes swept the room with predatory efficiency before landing on Ada. "So this is the little witness," she said in perfect English. Her smile was beautiful and terrifying. "The one my dear brother is keeping as a pet." Hygiene. Jae-yoon appeared behind her, his expression darker than Ada had ever seen. "Get out. She's not your concern." On the contrary, Hygiene moved closer to Ada. "Anything that makes you vulnerable is very much my concern. How does it feel, Adana? Being the reason for all this tension." "Leave," Jae-yoon said, his voice dropping to something lethal. "Now. Or what? You'll shoot me like you shot your witness." Hygiene laughed. "Oh wait, you didn't shoot her. You saved her. Why is that, brother? What makes this girl special?" "I'm not special," Ada said, surprising herself. "I'm just in the wrong place at the wrong time." Modest. I like that. Hygiene pulled something from her jacket, a small metallic token, and tossed it onto Ada's bed. "She's a liability. Kill her, release her, I don't care. But stop letting sentimentality compromise our operations." "Our operations?" Jae-yoon's laugh was bitter. "You tried to stage a coup 6 months ago. There is no R anymore. Then consider this a courtesy warning." Hygiene moved toward the door. "She's a liability. And liabilities in our world have short lifespans. Choose wisely, brother. The empire or the girl." After she left, silence shattered between them. Jae-yoon picked up the token. His knuckles whitened around it. "What is it?" Ada asked. "A death mark." He looked at her, and for the first time, she saw fear in his eyes. "Hygiene just declared open season on you. Anyone in her faction can claim a reward for your death." Ada's legs gave out. "Then kill me yourself. At least make it quick."
"No."
The word was sharp, definitive. "I'm not giving her that victory. This isn't about victory. This is about my life." Ada stood, anger overriding fear. "You've kept me prisoner for 5 days, made me a target in your family drama, and now I'm going to die anyway. Just end it, Jae-yoon." He crossed to her in 3 strides, gripping her shoulders. "You're not going to die. I won't allow it. You can't control everything. Watch me." His grip tightened. "Hygiene thinks she can use you to hurt me. She's wrong. I'm going to protect you, even if it means burning everything down to do it."
"Why?"
Ada demanded. "Why do you care if I live or die? I'm nothing to you." For a long moment, he just looked at her. Then, slowly, he released her and stepped back. "I don't know," he admitted. "But I'm going to find out." He left, barking orders in Korean. Ada heard multiple locks engage. She picked up the death mark, cold against her palm. Somewhere in Seoul, people were already hunting her. The 6th day, Jae-yoon appeared at breakfast bleeding. Ada saw it immediately. The way he moved stiffly, the pallor, the hand pressed against his ribcage.
You're injured, she said.
It's nothing. He winced. That's a stab wound. 4 to 6 inches deep based on how you're breathing. The medical student in her overrode the prisoner. Take off your shirt. Miss Okoro. Take it off or bleed out. Your choice. They stared at each other. Then he unbuttoned his shirt. The wound was worse than she'd thought. A deep gash below his ribs, still seeping blood. Who did this? Ada asked, moving closer despite herself. One of Hygiene's men. Got past security. His jaw clenched as she peeled away bandages. We're handling it. This needs proper medical attention. I'm a student, not a surgeon. Dr. Park is busy. You'll have to do. I could kill you. Make it look like an accident. You could. He met her eyes. But you won't. You're not a killer, Adana. Ada hated that he was right. She couldn't let him bleed out.
Fine.
But I need supplies. Jae-yoon made a call. Within minutes, Jung appeared with a medical kit. Ada laid out supplies, then began cleaning the wound. This close, she could smell his cologne mixed with blood, could feel heat radiating from his skin, could count the scars marking his torso. This is going to hurt, she warned. Everything hurts in my world. Ada began stitching, her hands steady. The intimacy was impossible to ignore. Her hands on his skin, his controlled breathing, the way he watched her face instead of the needle. Why do you do this? She asked. Run a criminal empire. Live a life where getting stabbed is routine. Because someone has to maintain order. Without structure, Seoul's underworld would tear itself apart. That's what all tyrants tell themselves. Perhaps. He winced. But I've seen what happens when there's no one to enforce rules. His hand caught her wrist, gentle but firm. That man in the alley? He sold weapons to a terrorist cell. Those weapons bombed a subway station. 43 people died, including children. So yes, I killed him. And I'd do it again. Ada pulled free and continued stitching. She didn't have a response. There, she said finally. That should hold. But you need rest. I don't have time. Hygiene strike was just the opening move. Then you're an idiot who's going to bleed out anyway. Ada cleaned up supplies. Why are you telling me this? Because you're already in it. He stood carefully. The moment hygiene marked you, you became part of this conflict. So what now? Now I teach you how to survive. He moved toward the door, starting with self-defense. You're going to train me? You're a prisoner. I'm going to arm you with knowledge that might keep you alive. He paused. Whether you believe it or not, Adana, I don't want you to die. That's become inconveniently true. After he left, Ada stared at her blood-stained hands. She'd just saved her captor's life, had touched him with dangerous intimacy. And the worst part? She hadn't wanted to stop. The training started the next day. Jung appeared with workout clothes and an apologetic expression. Boss's orders. Meet him in the gym. The gym was massive, professional-grade equipment everywhere. Jae-yoon was already there, shirtless, moving through martial arts forms. The fresh stitches were visible as dark lines against his skin. You should be resting, Ada said. I'm ambidextrous with my violence. He turned to her. Can you throw a punch? I've never hit anyone. Then we start with basics. He moved behind her, adjusting her stance. His hands on her waist, positioning her body, felt too intimate. For the next hour, he taught her strikes, blocks, pressure points. Patient but exacting. When she finally landed a solid hit, his approval warmed something dangerous inside her. Good, he said. Again. They trained until her muscles screamed. Then he shifted to situational awareness. In 3 days, we're attending a charity gala, he said, tossing her water. You'll accompany me. It's the perfect place for hygiene to make a move. You're using me as bait. I'm giving you a chance to face your enemies in a controlled environment. He drank deeply, and Ada tried not to watch his throat move. You can stay hidden forever, or you can learn to navigate this world. Your choice. That's not a choice. That's coercion. Welcome to my reality. His smile was sharp. Nothing is ever really a choice. just varying degrees of survival. Over the next 2 days, the dynamic shifted. Jae-yoon spent more time at her room, sometimes training her, sometimes just sitting in silence while she sketched and he worked. Ada caught herself watching him, noticing the way concentration furrowed his brow, the graceful economy of his movements, the rare moments something she said made him almost smile. She was getting attached. It terrified her. On the 8th day, the night before the gala, Jae-yoon appeared at 3 a.m. Exhausted, shirt untucked, hair disheveled, knuckles bruised. Another attack. Ada already reached for the medical kit that now lived in her room. Minor skirmish. But he let her examine his hands anyway. "You need to sleep," she said, wrapping his knuckles with gauze. "Sleep is a luxury I can't afford." He watched her with unsettling intensity. Hygiene is escalating. 3 attacks in 2 days. And tomorrow? The gala? Tomorrow, she'll make her real move. His fingers tangled with hers. The touch was gentle, almost tender. "I need you to promise me something." "What?" "If things go wrong, if it becomes dangerous, you run. Don't look back. Don't try to help. Just run." Ada pulled her hand away. "Why would I run? I'm your prisoner. Where would I go?" "Jung will have exit routes prepared. Money, documentation, everything you need." His eyes were serious. "I've made arrangements. If I die tomorrow, you'll be free." The casual way he discussed his death made something twist in her chest. "You're not going to die. You don't know that. Neither do you." She was suddenly angry. "Stop talking like you're already dead." His laugh was surprised, genuine. "Is that your medical opinion, Dr. Okoro? I'm not a doctor yet. And this isn't funny." "No, it's not." He moved to her window, staring at Seoul's lights. "I've been thinking about the night we met. How different things would be if you'd taken a different route. If any single variable had changed. Regret doesn't suit you." "It's not regret. More like curiosity about alternate timelines." He turned, backlit by city lights. "In another life, maybe we would have met differently. Maybe you would have been my doctor. Maybe I would have been just another patient. In another life, you wouldn't be a criminal, and I wouldn't be your prisoner. Would you want that? To be different people?" The question hung between them, weighted with implications. "I don't know," Ada admitted. "A week ago, I would have said yes. Now I don't know anything anymore. You've made everything complicated. That seems to be my specialty." He reached out, fingers brushing her cheek, so gently it could have been accidental. "For what it's worth, Adana, I'm sorry. For all of this. For dragging you into my world." She kissed him. Later, Ada wouldn't be able to explain why. Maybe exhaustion. Maybe Stockholm Syndrome. Maybe the way he'd said her name like a prayer. Or maybe she just wanted to stop him from apologizing. The kiss was brief, barely more than a press of lips. But it changed everything. Jae-yoon went completely still, his hand frozen against her cheek. When she pulled back, his expression was shocked, raw. "Adana. Don't." She stepped away, heart hammering. "Don't say anything. I don't know why I did that. Just forget it happened." But they both knew forgetting was impossible. He left without another word. Ada spent the rest of the night staring at the ceiling, her lips still tingling, wondering what she'd just set in motion. The gala dress arrived with breakfast. Deep emerald silk that would complement her skin perfectly. Designer label.
Custom-made.
Ada hated how much she wanted to wear it. "Tell your boss I'm not his doll," she told Jung. "Tell him yourself. He's waiting." She found Jae-yoon surrounded by security monitors, tactical plans, building layouts. "The dress is beautiful," she said. "I'm not wearing it." He looked up, something flickering in his eyes. "You'll wear what I provide, or you'll stay here. Those are your options." "Then I'll stay." "Adana." He stood, moving around the desk. "Hygiene knows you exist. She knows you're my weakness. Tonight, you're either by my side where I can protect you, or you're vulnerable and alone. Which sounds safer?" "Neither sounds safe. Welcome to my world." He stopped a careful distance away, as if remembering last night's kiss.
"Please.
"Wear the dress."
Come with me.
Let me try to keep you alive. The pleas surprised her.
Jae-yoon Park didn't beg. Fine, Ada said.
But if I die because you wanted to show me off, I'm haunting you forever. His smile was small but genuine. I'd expect nothing less. That evening, Ada barely recognized herself in the mirror. The emerald dress fit perfectly, hugging curves she'd forgotten she had. Someone had sent up a stylist who'd done her hair in elegant twists, makeup that enhanced rather than concealed, jewelry that sparkled with what might have been real diamonds. She looked like she belonged in Jae-yoon's world. That thought should have repulsed her. Instead, it sent a confusing thrill down her spine. When Jae-yoon came to collect her, he stopped in the doorway, his expression unreadable. You look, he trailed off, like an expensive prisoner? Like you were always meant to be here. He offered his arm. Shall we? The drive was tense and silent. Ada counted security vehicles, 3 visible, probably more hidden. Jae-yoon sat beside her, exuding controlled danger in a perfectly tailored tuxedo. The rules, he said finally. Don't leave my sight. If someone approaches, let me handle it. If anything feels wrong, squeeze my hand twice. Understand? You're expecting trouble. I'm always expecting trouble. Tonight, I'm just being honest about it. The gala was held at Seoul's most prestigious hotel, a glittering affair of old money and new power. Eyes tracked them as they entered. Whispers followed. Who is this woman on Jae-yoon Park's arm? They're staring, Ada murmured. Let them. His hand settled on the small of her back, possessive and protective. You're with me. That makes you untouchable. For the first hour, it almost felt normal. Jae-yoon introduced her as a medical consultant for Hansei Group. The lie rolled smoothly, and Ada played along, her actual medical knowledge filling gaps. She met politicians and businessmen, socialites and celebrities. All of them treated Jae-yoon with respect tinged with fear. This was his true power, not violence, but control. The way a single look could silence a room. You're good at this, she observed. Playing king. And what am I really, Adana? Before she could answer, the room's energy shifted. Conversations died. Heads turned. Hygiene had arrived. She was magnificent in blood-red silk, moving through the crowd with predatory confidence. Beautiful, deadly, focused entirely on Jae-yoon and Ada. Brother, she said in crisp English. How lovely. And, with your new pet. How unexpected. Hygiene. Jae-yoon's arm around Ada tightened. I wasn't aware you'd been invited. I invite myself to important events. Her eyes raked over Ada with clinical assessment. So this is the witness. Prettier than I expected. This is a social event. Take your disputes elsewhere. But you brought her here, dear brother. Put her on display. That makes her fair game. Hygiene smiled, and Ada felt ice slide down her spine. Tell me, Adana, may I call you Adana? Do you know what Jae-yoon does to people who become inconvenient? Hygiene, Jae-yoon warned, his voice lethal. He eliminates them. Quietly. Efficiently. She leaned closer. So, when you stop being useful, how quickly will he make you disappear? Ada met her eyes steadily. If you're trying to scare me, you're too late. Your brother already did that thoroughly. Hygiene's laugh was genuine, surprised. Oh, I like her. She has spine. She stepped back. Enjoy your evening, brother. But, remember, pets that bite sometimes need to be put down. She glided away, leaving tension thick enough to choke on. Are you all right? Jae-yoon asked quietly.
No.
But I'm still standing. Ada's hand found his, squeezing hard. Can we leave?
Soon.
I need to maintain the facade a bit longer. His thumb stroked the back of her hand absently. You did well. She expected you to break. I'm tougher than I look. I'm learning that. They made it another 30 minutes before everything went to hell. Ada was alone for exactly 90 seconds. Jae-yoon had been pulled into a conversation with a government minister. She was safe.
Watched. Protected.
Until the lights went out. Emergency lighting kicked in, bathing everything in red. Screams erupted. In the chaos, hands grabbed Ada from behind, a cloth pressing against her face with that sickly sweet smell. She remembered Jae-yoon's training. Instead of fighting, she went limp, then drove her elbow backward hard. The grip loosened. She spun. Then Jae-yoon was there. What happened next was brutal and efficient. He moved like violence personified, each strike calculated for maximum damage. The man went down hard. "Are you hurt?" Jae-yoon demanded, hands on her face, checking for injuries.
Ai fine.
"What's happening?" Hygiene's making her move. He pulled her close, shielding her. "Young, status." Young's voice came through an earpiece. "3 teams in the building, boss. They're going for the girl. Get the car. North exit. 2 minutes." Jae-yoon looked at Ada. "Stay close. Don't let go of my hand. If I tell you to run, you run. Understand?" She nodded, too terrified to speak. They moved through chaos, Jae-yoon navigating with practiced ease. Twice more, men tried to grab Ada. Twice more, Jae-yoon eliminated the threat with frightening efficiency. His tuxedo was spattered with blood by the time they reached the exit. Young had the car waiting.
Now!
They dove into the back seat as gunfire erupted. "Drive," Jae-yoon commanded. Ada realized she was shaking, adrenaline crashing. "They tried to kidnap me. At a public event. With witnesses. Hygiene doesn't care about witnesses. She cares about hurting me." He pulled her against him, and she didn't resist.
I'm sorry.
"I thought we'd have more time." "Where are we going?" "Somewhere safer. The penthouse is compromised." The car took turns at dangerous speeds. Ada watched Seoul blur past, her heart racing, trying to process that someone had just tried to abduct her. Again. "This is my life now," she said quietly. "Being hunted. Being a target. This is what you've made me." Jae-yoon's arm tightened around her. "I'll fix this. I'll end Hygiene's threat. I promise." "Don't make promises you can't keep." "I never do." They arrived at a safe house in Gangnam, nondescript but, according to Jung, fortified to survive a small army. Inside was spartanly furnished but secure.
Reinforced walls, surveillance everywhere.
Jae-yoon was on his phone immediately, barking orders. Jung disappeared to coordinate security. Ada sank onto a sofa, still wearing her torn emerald dress, still shaking. When Jae-yoon finally ended his calls, he found her staring at nothing. "Adana. Don't." She held up a hand. "Don't apologize. Don't tell me you'll fix this. Just tell me the truth. Am I going to survive this?" He sat beside her, close but not touching. "Yes." "How can you be sure?" "Because I won't allow any other outcome." He reached for her hand, fingers lacing through hers. "I know you hate me. I know you think I'm a monster. But I protect what's mine, Adana. And somehow you've become mine. I'm not property.
No.
You're infinitely more dangerous." He lifted her hand, pressing his lips to her knuckles. "You're becoming someone I'd burn my entire empire to keep safe. That terrifies me more than Hygiene's armies." Ada should have pulled away. Should have reminded him she was his prisoner. Instead, she kissed him. This time wasn't brief or tentative. This time was fierce, desperate, tasting of fear and adrenaline and something darker. Jae-yoon's hands tangled in her hair, careful of the styling now falling apart. Ada's fingers found his shirt buttons, needing to feel his heartbeat, needing proof he was alive. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, the air crackled with dangerous electricity. "This is insane," Ada whispered. "Completely," Jae-yoon agreed. "I still hate you. I know. But I can't seem to stop," she couldn't finish. "Neither can I." He rested his forehead against hers. "God help us both, Adana. Neither can I." A knock interrupted. Jung's voice, carefully neutral. "Boss, we have a situation." Jae-yoon stood immediately, his control sliding back into place. But when he looked at Ada, something raw remained. "Wait here. I'll handle this." He left, and Ada touched her lips, still feeling his kiss, still tasting danger and desire mixed so thoroughly she couldn't separate them. She was falling for her captor. And the worst part? She didn't want to fight it anymore. The situation turned out to be catastrophic. Ada found Jae-yoon and Young in a surveillance room, multiple screens showing feeds from across Seoul. One showed the gala, now swarming with police. Another showed what looked like corporate servers being hacked in real time. What's happening? Ada asked. Hygiene's attacking on multiple fronts. Jae-yoon's voice was tight. She just leaked financial records to the media. By morning, Hansei Group will be exposed. That's good, right? You get arrested, I'm free. You'll be dead within hours. He turned to face her. Those records implicate government officials, rival families, everyone. They'll all want loose ends eliminated. You're the loosest end there is. Young's phone buzzed. He answered, his face going pale. Boss, we have a breach. Building security just went offline. Multiple hostiles in the lobby. Jae-yoon was moving before Young finished speaking. How many? At least 20. Military-grade weapons. They're coming up. Hygiene. Jae-yoon grabbed Ada's hand, pulling her toward the door. She's done with games. This is her endgame. They ran through the penthouse, Jae-yoon barking orders into his phone in rapid Korean. Ada heard gunfire echoing up the stairwell. Close, getting closer. The panic room, Young said. It's the only option. Get the rest of the men. Hold them at the 40th floor. Jae-yoon dragged Ada down a hallway she'd never seen before. Buy me 10 minutes. Boss. That's an order. Young disappeared, and Ada heard more gunfire erupt. Closer now. 30 seconds away, maybe less. Jae-yoon pressed his palm against a hidden scanner. A section of wall slid open, revealing a reinforced steel door. He pushed Ada inside. The panic room was small, maybe 12 by 12 feet. Reinforced walls. Multiple monitors showing security feeds. Weapons cabinet. Emergency supplies. And on the largest monitor, Hygiene's face appeared, smiling from what looked like a car. Hello, brother, she said in English, clearly knowing Ada could hear. Enjoying your last moments together? Jae-yoon ignored the screen, moving to the weapons cabinet. He pulled out a handgun, checked the magazine, then turned to Ada. Do you remember what I taught you? His voice was eerily calm. About firing a weapon? Jae-yoon, what? Do you remember? More urgent now. Yes. Stance, sight alignment, breathe out, squeeze. He pressed the gun into her hands. The weight was heavier than she expected. Colder. What are you doing? Ada's voice cracked. On the monitor, Hygiene laughed. Oh, this is delicious. Are you really going to arm your little pet? Jae-yoon cupped Ada's face, forcing her to look at him instead of the screen. His eyes were intense, desperate, more raw than she'd ever seen them. Listen to me very carefully. His thumb stroked her cheek, gentle despite the chaos. This door will hold for maybe 15 minutes. When they breach it, not if, when you're going to do exactly what I tell you. No. Ada shook her head, tears already burning. No, don't say it. If they get in, he continued, his voice steady even as his hands trembled against her face, you're going to shoot me. What? No. Jae-yoon, I can't. You can and you will. He grabbed her hands, wrapped them around the gun, positioned it against his chest. One shot. Center mass. Make it count. I won't do it. Ada was sobbing now, trying to pull away, but he held her firm. I won't, I can't. You'll be safer with the police than with them. His forehead pressed against hers. Do you understand? If Hygiene's men take you alive, they'll torture you for days just to send me pieces. But if I'm already dead, if you killed me, you're just a witness. They'll let you go. That's insane. That's survival. He kissed her forehead, her cheeks, her lips, desperate, claiming goodbye. I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry for all of this. For shooting you, for kidnapping you, for making you fall for a monster. You're not a monster. Yes, I am. But you made me want to be better. His smile was heartbreaking. You made me want to be worthy of the way you look at me. And this, letting you live, even if it costs me everything, this is the only worthy thing I've ever done. An explosion rocked the building. The monitors showed Hygiene's men breaching the 40th floor. Jung and the others were fighting, but they were outnumbered. 5 minutes, Jung's voice crackled through the intercom. Maybe less. I'm sorry, boss. Jae-yoon moved to the monitors, watching his men fall one by one. His expression was carved from stone, but Ada saw his hands clench into fists. On the main screen, Hyejin was still smiling. It's almost poetic, isn't it? You spent your whole life building an empire, and I'm going to tear it down in one night. And the best part? Your little witness gets to watch you die. She's not watching me die, Jae-yoon said calmly, looking directly at the camera. She's going to kill me herself. Rob you of that pleasure, dear sister. Hyejin's smile faltered. You're bluffing. Am I? He looked at Ada, and the love in his eyes was so raw it hurt. She's stronger than you think. Stronger than I deserve. Another explosion. Closer. The walls shook. There at the door, Jung's voice was strained. 40 seconds. Boss, it's been an honor. The intercom cut out with a scream and gunfire. Jae-yoon turned to Ada, taking the gun from her shaking hands. He checked it one more time, then pressed it back into her grip. When that door opens, he said quietly, you count to 3. Then you shoot. Jae-yoon, please. Promise me. His hands covered hers on the gun. Promise me you'll do it. Promise me you'll survive. I can't. Promise me, Adana. His voice broke on her name. Please. Let me save you. It's the only good thing I've ever done. Let me die knowing you'll live. The panic room door shuddered. Metal shrieking against metal. They were using explosives. I love you, Ada sobbed. I hate you and I love you, and I can't do this. Yes, you can. He kissed her one last time, fierce and desperate and final. You're the strongest person I know. You survived me. You can survive anything. The door buckled. Once. Twice. Jae-yoon positioned himself in front of Ada, shielding her with his body. He guided her hands, positioning the gun against his back, right where his heart would be. Do it, he whispered, or we both die. And I can't fuck, Adana. I can't let you die. Not you. Not because of me. On the monitor, Hyejin's face was victorious, watching as her men placed the final explosive charge on the panic room door. 10 seconds, she said, her voice sing-song. 9. 8. Ada's finger found the trigger. The metal was cold. Her whole body was shaking. 7. 6. I'm sorry, Jae-yoon said, for everything, but also for nothing, because meeting you, even like this, was worth it all. 5. 4. The door was glowing red from the heat of the explosives. 3. 2. Ada closed her eyes, tears streaming down her face, her finger tightening on the trigger. 1. The explosion lit up the panic room in blinding white light. The door blew inward, smoke and fire and armed men pouring through like hell itself had opened. And in that moment, with the gun pressed against Jae-yoon's back and Hyejin's laughter echoing through the speakers, Ada made her choice. To be continued in Part 2, Sacrifice and Redemption. We've reached the end of Part 1, besties. Ada stood in that panic room with a gun in her hands and impossible choices tearing her apart. Did she pull the trigger? Did she save him or destroy him? Did love win or did survival? I'm not telling you. Not yet. What I will tell you is this. Part 2 is where everything burns. Where empires crumble and hearts break and the true cost of love gets paid in blood and sacrifice. Jae-yoon made Ada a promise to protect her no matter what it cost him. Ada made a choice, but which one? Hyejin thinks she's won. The panic room door is blown open. Armed men are flooding in. And in the chaos, only one thing is certain. Nothing will ever be the same. If you're not subscribed yet, besties, now's the time. Because Part 2, Sacrifice and Redemption. See you in Part 2, besties. It's going to be one hell of a ride.